Welcome in. That's just a lie. No. If you check my Twitter, I'm actually at Simpson. There's a reply directly with me, waiting here for you, actually. But everyone
holding this up, mate.
Okay, welcome into the PHNX Rising podcast. We're presented by our friends at Circle K. Appreciate everyone joining us here on a Tuesday evening. I am, of course, Max Simpson, and I'm joined by Mr. Tardy Pants himself, Mr. Owen Evans. How we doing?
Well, I don't know, mate. I'm tired, It's been a long month. It's been a long month with a lot of travel, I mean, it's... Yeah.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah.
Must have been why. That's why you had to start the pod 13 minutes late. That's okay.
I know, mate. It's because I was making those graphics and you were playing FIFA, wasn't it?
Well, no, I was doing market research.
Market research.
Playing the lackey. It's
market
called
research.
content.
Didn't he beat you?
We're not. That's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. But what does matter is we have a great podcast for you guys.
You're trying to unplug my mic now.
The audio listeners can't see that. No, well, appreciate everyone joining us here on a Tuesday. In the wise words of someone, better late than nope. Just kidding. No, but honestly, appreciate everyone joining us. We got a good show for you guys today. Hit that like button, by the way, if you haven't. It really does appreciate that. Helps us out. All that
leave
jazz.
A like there. See?
Leave that like. Boom. Leave that. What the? Oh my gosh.
You didn't know that was the picture on it.
Well, no, I did. Just didn't see it was up. Producer Eric behind the Mac is up to his shenanigans.
This is what happens when you're late.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. You can confirm it wasn't me.
Max, I can't believe
I can't confirm or deny anything.
Hey, check my Twitter at Max David Simpson. That is the proof.
I see.
Timestamp it. It's the
you
proof.
Stating that, but that's not evidence. That's testimony.
I'm pretty sure that video was AI generated.
It was a photo.
It could have been.
No.
It could have been.
Even easier to be AI generated.
The potato phone that I used, there's no way it was AI generated.
And what brand is that, Max?
No, we got
it.
It doesn't matter. It has a camera on it. Anyway, appreciate everyone joining us in the chat. Siley, Mikey, Statlacky, Tomas, everyone in there. Boom. Love it. It's going to be a good show. We have a bit of a palate cleanser episode today, so it's going to be nice. It's going to be good for everyone. It's been a long week, to say the least. And we're going to get to the palate cleanser. We do have to eat our vegetables first before we get to the dessert.
No, we don't.
And we're going
Max.
to.
No, we don't.
And we're going to. Are you the protesting kid who doesn't want to eat their vegetables? Did you eat your vegetables as a kid?
Max is that miserable guy who's like,
Vegetables are fun.
Wants to pretend he's the parent being boring now.
I'm not. I'm just saying vegetables can be fun. But, we're going to eat those vegetables. Owen, you've had quite a week. You've been traveling quite a bit. A little bit to Seattle. A little bit into Chicago. Then going into Indy, and
back by Chicago again, back over down here.
Well, yeah,
so
I guess you have to go that way to get back.
Long week, but I'll say this, right, and this is the funny thing. Now, Max didn't realize when he was writing out the thumbnail today. What did you put as a thumbnail title for this one, Max?
Put grounded.
He put grounded. Now he doesn't realize quite why that made me laugh so much when I saw it, because everything that went wrong this week, we saw, like how. It was pretty much the writing was on the wall from the beginning, and why? Because some of the boys actually got up to Seattle late. And do you know why they got up to Seattle late, Max?
Was their plane grounded?
They had to divert to Boise because they had engine issues on the plane. The way it was described to me was that the announcement came up and they were just looking down the aisle at this flight attendant, like strapping in like all the stuff over the shoulders, not looking panicked at all as this happened, and they divert into Boise and then get into Seattle late. But Ryan was kind of on the wall from that point alone. That this was going to be maybe one of those weeks where things just don't quite go right.
Oh boy. Yeah.
He genuinely didn't know that when he wrote out that thumbnail. He only just found out now.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I put don't know, grounded, like, hey, we're grounded, or grounded, no points. But no, I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely a way to put it. You did say you'd tell me this live on air, and here we are. So,
Yeah.
bam.
Yeah.
That is it's quite a way to do it. Yeah, but as we're getting into and recapping the week that was, you had two trips, and Rising came away with, well, I would say no points, but I guess the Open Cup, that's a thing. But Rising lost both matches.
Yeah, they did. And I mean, look, they weren't the most exciting of matches. They weren't. I don't think Rising put their best foot forward in either of those two matches. Not necessarily by with the exception of the goalkeeper position, not necessarily by the team selection in the first game, but just the performance there wasn't great. In terms of the second game, I think we saw a lot of rotation that came in. I mean, look, that's the choice that can be made at that point after a long week. I mean, I know there was obviously some disappointment in the squad. There were some players that felt ready to go and didn't go, at least not from the off in that game. But it's one of those games that's complicated. I mean, there are elements of, you're going to have to rotate a little bit in there, but is too much? Who knows? I mean, look, Indy have been playing well lately, so to come away with only a 2-1 loss, maybe not the worst thing that could have happened there, but obviously, especially when you take the lead in both games, to lose them both 2-1, it's a bit of a gutter.
It is. And I think there's a bit of dichotomy in the chat, but right, there's two schools of thought. Mr. Bandito's World Order, Thomas in the chat, I need a Rising win after this week. Yeah. And then you also got Mike in the chat, right? It's not terrible, honestly. First league loss in a month after a long week. I mean, listen, two things can be true. Where do you fall within everything?
What, in terms of this week or how positive, how negative right now overall?
Yeah.
You got to be careful not to get into a slide. That's the critical thing here. Got to be careful to turn it around. I think we've kind of hinted at this before, in that this group felt more together last year necessarily than they are this year. And that's an important part of any given team. And I think that you have to be cognizant of that, and you have to think about the impact that a stretch of poor results could have in this kind of case. Look, are they there at a point where you're really, really, really worried? Maybe not. Mm-hmm. But the key thing is avoiding getting to that point where you get really, really, really worried. You don't want to get to that stage, because sometimes, again, things have a tendency, and the way that football works, when stuff gets quite negative, stuff spirals, right? And you don't want to allow it to get to that point. You've got to make sure that you keep it out of that area. And so the important thing, I think, now is these next two games in particular. One of them at home against Orange County, the other one away against Las Vegas Lights. Both of these are games that you'd hope you can get results in. And I think you've got to come away with hopefully points in both of them. Or at the very least, you must win one of the two.
Yes, it's going to be quite a pivotal stretch of matchups coming up. I mean, listen, we've done multiple post-game shows. We've done shows in between these games. We're not going to go into the detail of it, but just kind of a bit removed, right? I want to very briefly get kind of the read of the room, not just you, chat as well, of how we kind of feel coming off of these last two matches, kind of different circumstances, kind of different meanings and implications, right? Match against Seattle in the Open Cup, Rising, come out with, they do have a good number of guys in the starting 11. They get that 1-goal lead. They end up conceding it again. It's away from home. It's an MLS team. Then
asterisk on the
asterisk, yes,
on the
asterisk,
MLS team,
yes.
Right? When they didn't
some
put their
guys in there, but
really.
yes, fair. And then second match, a couple days later against in 11, again away from home, get the early goal, and then just kind of fell flat. I mean, Indy was also pretty flat, but just took advantages where they did. If you kind of look at those matches and seeing how one of them, right, in the Open Cup play, Rising are out of that. Second match, Rising lose that. That was their first loss in league play since mid-April, as Mikey mentioned. Is there one match that we should feel worse about than the other? I might have an idea what that be. Like, how do we feel about it?
Seattle, just because of the gravity of the win in that game, if they'd done it? Yeah, absolutely. And right, again, you also look at it, I think, and say that team was there for the taking. That team was there for the taking. They weren't very good, that Seattle team that they put out there. The gap between those teams was not really anything of note, to be perfectly frank. But Rising just couldn't handle it on the night.
Yeah.
And it was disappointing. You wonder if maybe, I mean, again, right? I don't know if you can say in any way, shape, or form if the Rocco decision changes the outcome of this game. I don't know. I do know that it changes how they're able to play because, again, this is a team that can't they can't play out at the back in the same way if they don't have Rocco out there, if Patrick is out there instead, because it's just the very nature of it. Rocco is a very good goalkeeper with his feet. He's very good at playing the ball at the back and being that extra kind of defender and build-up play that allows them to try and take advantage of certain scenarios in terms of the numerical advantage, right? In a way that Patrick just isn't. Patrick isn't that comfortable with the ball at his feet. We saw that against Seattle.
Sure.
I just feel as though at the end of the day, Indy, I mean, Michael's there saying, and he seems to be like, he's never going to be more than a draw after the travel. I don't disagree. Like, a draw would have been a good result. I feel like if Rising had won on Wednesday, a loss against Indy wouldn't have felt bad at all. You'd have kind of just written it off and go,
Yeah.
One of those things. The bit that's irritating is the fact that it felt as though they dropped a potential result, even just taking it into extra time, to be honest, on Wednesday. That they could have come away with a lot more on that day, and they didn't manage to do so.
Sure. How would have felt if they lost against Seattle but won against Indy?
If they won against Indy, you kind of have it picks you up that little bit, doesn't it? I understand that, but like, if you can only pick one, obviously you're going to pick the Seattle game, not the Indy one.
Agreed. And I would.
I mean, ideally, you want to win one of them.
Sure. And I'd venture to guess, right? We know in previous shows the chat tends to kind of have that sentiment, right? It's a tough week. We move on. I'm very happy to not talk about this week anymore. Is there anything you need to talk about this week anymore?
It's done.
Yes.
When is the next time that there's a multi-game week? It's got to be a while off. Is it not till September?
And then,
I think it's.
And we have what? We have two of those weeks in the span of 3 weeks. Yeah,
but it's not terrible. Wednesday 25th against Orange County to then go home to Vegas, but they're not 2 away games either. The next 2 away game week isn't until October, and it's New Mexico and Oakland. Okay, they're Western ones as well. They're not going too far. You know what? I'll take it. I will take it. Because these long weeks are getting to me, mate. They are getting long.
Yeah.
This eastbound travel is not fun.
It'll be okay. With the help of our friends at Circle K. Circle K will help refuel you for anything you need, especially if you're a little dehydrated, right? Circle K. Just go on over to local Circle K. Whether you are in Arizona, whether you're making a cross-country trip, whether you have your away days going, Circle K is a great spot to fill up, fuel up. Get a little Polar Pop in you, drink a little bit there, have a good time. It is 79 cents, folks. You can get a Polar Pop for 79 cents. Slurp it down to the core. Super easy to do. Go in, Circle K. You can join the Inner Circle program, too. Make that 79-cent Polar Pop a 69-cent Polar Pop. Pretty nice deal there. And, of course, you can save 25 cents off per gallon by being an Inner Circle member, and then save 3 cents every gallon after that. Get to the max level, save 5 cents off per gallon to the max.
Max level.
Choom, there you go. Check them out. Circle K. Download Circle K. Opt into the Inner Circle program. Of course, get that 79-cent Polar Pop inside of your body. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations. Yeah. Also, of course, check out our friends at OG's Brands. Our friends at OG's Brands, right? They got this stuff for you. Got the stuff for you, right? A little something to pair well with your Circle K, whether it is the Polar Pop, whether it is the snacks, the munchies, if you will. OG's Brands will help you get through that week. You need a little mellowing out, a little snooze when you're on the plane. If I'm not. We're not getting to that, but if you happen to have one before you go traveling, safely, of course, you're not driving, you're doing it responsibly, but make sure you check out our friends at OG's Brands. You must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. You can, of course, find them on ogsbrands.com. Check them out on socials at OG's Brands. The indicas, the sativas, the fruits, the creams, the minis, the big OGs, everything like that. Baby. Okay. Well,
Devon's excited because Gallardo is the thumbnail.
What?
Who would have guessed that he'd be excited by that? Devon, my friend, you are the walking, talking meme of yourself right now. I mean, it's true.
Dear.
It's true.
He's drinking
He's a good
that.
lad.
The Klopp
Max,
Kool-Aid.
Max, of course. Max will not, unfortunately, be on the bus on Saturday morning. But are you sending beers?
Yeah, I'm seeing people in the chat. Big question what are the Four Peaks drinks on the bus?
Are you sending any, Max?
Bad birdie, baby.
Are you sending any?
What do you mean? I mean, sure, I'll
Max gonna buy some beers.
Yeah, put in for some beer money.
He might put some beer money in. Oh, hello.
Yeah,
Okay, right. We got some stuff to talk about, haven't we, Max?
Well, and the reason why is because you hit a certain milestone, my friend.
Yeah. We've done all 24 active USL Championship.
We sure have.
Absolutely. You've done a few. You've done a few. You've done a few, mate. You've done a few.
We're getting there.
Well done.
Yeah, not a couple.
But yeah, hit all 24 up. So we're going to do the ranking, the definitive away days ranking in USL Championship. All 24 teams.
Undefeated.
USL Championship
Undisputed.
ranked.
Universal.
There is no arguing on this. This is definitive.
Definitive.
Unless you've done them all, you can't argue. So only people who've done them all can argue back.
That's not you. It's
Probably
you.
not you.
Probably not you.
Most of you definitely.
It's definitely you. Maybe me.
No, you haven't.
Not me. Definitely you. Not you.
I'd
not
say no.
you.
My opinion's pretty valid here. I think I've hit them all at least twice.
Whoa.
Yeah, Eric. I'll listen to Eric. I
usually
Eric's opinion.
run into Owen and I'm like, hey, what are you doing here,
all
dude?
the time, definitely. Yeah.
You
But
didn't
anyway,
know this, Max?
you know what we're
didn't
gonna
know
do? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna start going through the collection, and we're gonna see who comes up. So we're gonna start going from the bottom to the top. So we're gonna start with number 24. And who'd have guessed it might be Isotopes Park? Would you have guessed that one, Max?
You know, rumor has it that you did talk to a certain PHNX employee who may or may not, have roots in Albuquerque. And let's just say you told him of the ranking. He was not too pleased. He doth protest.
There are no players here, by the way, so you're not getting a Panos card.
Panos is in a stadium. What are we doing?
Yeah. But yeah, Isotopes Park. I mean, look, it's a baseball stadium, so it suffers from the baseball stadium kind of stuff. I mean, if you get there early, to be fair, on a weekend they get good, decent enough crowds in. I mean, there's not much else to do in Albuquerque, but they get decent enough crowds in. And then they do their little chant of the game beforehand, which definitely isn't cringy at all. So they invite people from the curse to come down and do their chant. Which last time I went there was literally just they went, let's get fired up and just do that again and again and again. Which definitely doesn't sound like something that a collection of frat boys who have just drunk a liquid that barely qualifies as a beer might say.
I don't know. I'm pretty fired up just thinking about that.
See, I can tell Eric
That's
is
what
loving
dreams
it.
are made of.
This makes all the sense in the world. What's up, Emma Clark?
Shout out, Emma. For all of these grounds, right, or most of them, where there's something wrong, we try and, there are often redeeming factors, and often it can be the city itself is okay, right?
It's a collective experience.
But Albuquerque is a dump. Albuquerque is not good.
Let's just say when I went there a couple years ago
when I
went there a couple years ago for the Hot Air Balloon Festival. Let's just say I wanted to hop in the air balloon and just get the hell out of here.
Exactly. It's not a good place. Albuquerque's a dump, okay? I don't think you could pay me enough money to move to that city. I just couldn't.
Yeah, you know what the best thing about Albuquerque is?
Leaving. Woo! So the football's bad, the city's bad, it's bad. Albuquerque, Isotopes Park, bottom of the list. Don't go.
We'll put in I guess not a disclaimer, but Owen did caveat that, hey, we're not going to spend a ton of time every one, really get into the top 10. This is a special shout out for Albuquerque because they have a special plate in his heart.
Here's the thing, right? The top and the bottom are going to get more discussion.
That's a good point.
Because there are stronger views. When you get to the middling ones and they're all just like, they're there. Like, those ones you don't care about. Right, we move on to number 23. And this one arguably is a worse stadium experience than Albuquerque, which is impressive. But the thing that makes it worse here, as you look at Miami FC's Ricardo Silva Stadium, is it's a 20,000-seater college football stadium that has about 200 people show up to. So it is the worst stadium experience that you will possibly get, okay? It's just bad. Now, the redeeming factor and the only reason it sits above Albuquerque is because
it's not
Miami.
Albuquerque.
It's Miami,
Yeah.
right? Now, it's not great. There are some other cities here which you could say are worse than Miami. And again, you're not wrong. But this one's also like, if you hit traffic, it's like an hour inland from downtown as well. So it's like way off, potentially. Massive stadium. No one goes. Turf. Not great. Not great. We move on?
Yeah.
Number 22. I'm going with Segra Field. Now, have you ever imagined being in the middle of nowhere, Virginia,
Go on. Let me get there. Let me
with
get there.
nobody with you, just empty seats?
Okay.
You're imagining Segra Field right now.
Ooh, I'm there.
So, Leesburg, Virginia. Just, wow. It's bad. I mean, again, right? I mean, to be fair, Loudon have the kind of success rate that Robert would be proud of, but just, I don't... There's nothing there. I mean, it's outside of DC, which again gives it a bit of a benefit, right? And actually, if you want to go up this year, they're playing up there in Labor Day, right? So you can stay in DC, go across for the game.
That's
come
when I
back.
was going to go.
It's better.
That's when I was saying.
You wouldn't want to stay in Leesburg, Virginia, would you now?
Hey, man. I got family from the... I'm just kidding. No, I don't.
Yeah. All right. And it's also worth noting again, no one goes. They're a pretty dismal team anyway. I mean, when I went there, they didn't really have like a media setup of any variety. It was just kind of like, I don't know, we kind of occupy a little space on the side of the suites.
Seeing Reese weigh in watching Rising lose 4-3 at Segra remains the worst experience of my life. Mikey, glad we saved Panos
I
from
was
that.
there, Reese. It was grim.
Pegasus logo.
Glad we saved Panos from that, says Michael. He's not wrong. Do we move on?
Move on.
Go on. I want to hear you think. What do you think will be coming at 21? This one's actually controversial. I got into two people I've met who previously worked. They're both reporters. Previously worked in this particular city. One of them said, "Yeah, it's
what
awful
only
place."
because
the other one got into a big argument with me over this.
I'm
one,
only trying to
when
think
I was
because
saying how bad the place
something
is.
controversial, a city that I've heard you saying not nice things about. Sacramento?
No.
Okay.
No.
That was my guess.
Hartford. So you go with Trinity Health
Oh,
Stadium.
okay,
Hartford
okay.
Athletic. Yeah, I actually got into an argument once with
Okay, Devin got
Susie
Hartford.
Hunter from DNVR
over
this one,
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that Hartford's a
the yard
hole
goat.
and there's nothing there.
The yard goats, yes.
It's a pretty dismal place, right? I mean, the stadium's fine. This is why actually, and they get a better crowd, so they have to be above Loudon, right? They get a better crowd.
Yes.
The stadium's fine. The playing surface was fine. Not great, but fine. But there's just nothing in Hartford. Like I don't know how to explain to you that you get off the train in Hartford and walk around on a weekend and there's nothing there.
I have a
it's just like all insurance offices and they're all gone for the weekends. There's nothing in Hartford.
So fun story. One of my good buddies and used to live with him for a bit. He worked at one of the headquarters for a pharmacy chain with 3 letters in it. No free ads. One of their headquarters was in Hartford, and he worked in their offices. And he said that Hartford is just an abysmal place, just not fun. It's not nothing redeeming. Nothing redeeming at all.
No,
at all.
No, it's bad. Right, we move on. Number 20. Cashman Field.
I was going to say, if Vegas wasn't in your bottom 5, there is something like you're not there. You're not well. I would be concerned.
Okay, so Cashman Field.
Okay.
Here's the thing about Cashman Field. To be fair, and I think we need to be upfront about this, this could be an outdated review. Because obviously, Jose Bautista's taken it over. It is no longer the Brett Lashbrook show.
As we'll find out.
It's been a mess. Okay, in the past, right? That stadium is like something from the 90s that hasn't been touched since. You've said that. You saw it last year, Max. That was dismal.
Oh, I've been there.
Dismal.
I've been there multiple times. Even going
it's a dismal stadium.
I remember the first. Okay. I remember the first Las Vegas Lights game. I was there on the first home game that they ever played there. against Reno.
And it was better in those days because they got more
It's
fans.
such a low bar, but yeah, man.
I know, it got worse. It's somehow it's got worse. My dad almost fought a guy at Cashman Field where he said, sounds about right. I mean, like...
Cashman Field or your dad
there's
fighting
nothing else entertaining about Cashman Field, so you might as well just... No, don't get into a fight. But it's just bad. I mean, the playing surface, I was told when they changed it from a baseball only to, from having baseball in there to football only, that they didn't really dig, like, deep enough. So there was still, like, sand under there, and that's why you can still see, or you at least could still see, the outline of the diamond underneath the football pitch, even though no baseball game had been played there for, like, 5 years.
Oh, no.
It's...
Devin, the only thing good there is the tacos.
Someone almost thought Johnny Cash.
Give me.
The Johnny Cash, like Elvis mascot is... I hear the General had a fun exchange with the mascot.
Give me Las Vegas Lights tacos, Phoenix Rising hot dog. Let me see who comes out on top.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that, right? Now, again, we will revisit this, I'm sure, next week after we've seen what Phoenix Rising, what we can take away from Cashman Field this weekend when things have changed, of course, and the new management. But we'll see. Which means we're moving on to number 19, Protective Stadium. I'm going to go with this one. Birmingham, Alabama.
A nice Easter Sunday last year.
It was Easter Sunday last year. So Birmingham, obviously, downtown was dead because it was Easter Sunday in Alabama. So no one was like out doing anything.
Priorities.
You know exactly where everyone was in Alabama on Easter Sunday. But the thing about this stadium, right, is that it's not the worst stadium necessarily. But this is like another massive college football stadium where... Okay, unlike Miami, Legion actually get crowds. But do you have any idea how, like, soul-crushing it is to be in, like, a quarter-full stadium?
Oh.
Okay? It's just grim. And it feels empty, even though it's not. And that's the problem, is that it's just not an exciting actual match day experience when you go there and it feels dead. Because, yeah, you might have about 9,000 people there on a good day, right? You might. But the stadium holds so much more than that it feels empty.
Yeah.
It just feels empty.
Yes.
And that's not good. That's not good. Right, I want your prediction. Who's coming at 18 now, Max, before we go for the next one?
I'm still putting... I feel we're going to get a sack somewhere in the middle. I'm going to go... Let's throw a sack in there.
You're rushing on sack. Number 18 is going to be... I'm going with Rhode Island.
Wow.
It's a temporary stadium, and I'm going to go with Rhode Island on this one. I'll give you a reason why. It's just so meh.
Okay.
I mean, the playing surface is like artificial turf and weird. It's not in... Like, Providence was fine.
Sure.
We had a good enough time in Providence.
Sure.
But the stadium's not in Providence, so it's like out in the sticks. And again, temporary stadium, it's only happening once, right? You'll see this one because they should be in their new Pawtucket-based stadium next season. But it's just in the middle of nowhere. They also, by the way, it's the classic, right? They'll charge you $20 to go park in this stadium at the middle of nowhere. Where it's like, how else are you going to get there realistically? Nice, affordable family night out, right? But it's just a mediocre experience, I think, more than anything. It's not great. It's not terrible. It just exists. It's kind of in that sphere.
It's there.
And we'll kind of let it go. Come on, Max, I want your prediction. I'm just going to keep going with your predictions as we go, mate.
Go Memphis.
Let's go Memphis.
I like that shout for Mike. Memphis.
Go on, 17. No, we're going with Tulsa.
Oh, gosh.
And the reason with Tulsa, you can see that pitch right there. This is a large part why Tulsa has to come in at this kind of a stage. There are good things I like about Tulsa. Tulsa's walkable. It's downtown. Okay? There are bars and restaurants that you can get to. There are hotels you can get to just walking around. There are cultural things you can see. Okay? In that area. But my God, that's pitch.
It's gross.
And the stadium at large, just, I mean, it's another classic one, right? Baseball stadiums aren't built for football experiences. No. You will end up with weird gaps in ways that you can't really describe, just gaps between the stands and the pitch.
Yeah.
You end up with an atrocious playing surface at times, and like half of it at least is like that. and it's pretty poor, and that's what lets this down. That's what lets stadiums like that down, because they have potential, but they just can't really. And I like Tulsa because of the surrounding area as well, Michael. But again, I just feel as though it gets bumped down, unfortunately, because the football's a big part of this, and I fear that that's just a poor football stadium. Darren all in there with the RIP HEB Stadium. To be fair, I'll give this to Albuquerque. HEB would have been last if they were still in the league, if RGV was still going, okay? Because that is the one place that is worse.
Dear gosh.
All right, we move on.
Give me a... Ooh.
I'm going for 16 next.
16.
There we go. It's the one that you were going to say. So you weren't far off with Memphis.
I was there. Okay.
And you're right, Michael. Memphis' field is worse. The thing that puts it above it for me... look, I want to rank AutoZone Park high. I really do. It is in downtown Memphis. There is so much in near distance to that stadium, and I really value that in these stadiums, right? Walkability around these cities is huge for me, because I enjoy getting to a city, get my car from the airport to the hotel, and then not have to get a car again until I'm going back from the hotel to the airport. You like how I didn't name any brands there? Well, yeah, with the stadium. No, I'm all about getting the cars.
As it's an exercise, we'll allow it.
Order. Names, we're kind of stuck with those, unfortunately.
But stuck, but yeah.
You know, it's got all those things that are great, and like Michael said, he's excited for it, and I agree. The problem is that field makes Tulsa's look good. It is the worst.
It's not great.
The worst pitch in the league. The way that stuff rolls up. I mean, when I went there last, you could see the pitcher's mound. They didn't even bother to take that out. They just put a little bit of grass over the top. What are we doing? What are we doing? It lets it down. If that was playable, that lets it down so much.
We're gonna have to ban Devin from the chat with a comment, if another comment like that. Yeah. Okay.
Memphis barbecue is good.
That's a good point.
Stuff. We will. Trust me, when I get over there to Memphis, it's going to be eating good for a couple days.
Okay. Next,
15.
give me.
What's next?
I'm thinking it's like meh. Give me like Roots.
Oh, pull it up. It is.
Let's go!
Where are Oakland Roots playing this week? Where are Oakland Roots playing this week?
Bang!
It's the third Oakland stadium that I've been to, and it's not in Oakland. Look, the thing about Oakland, I'll give them this, right? I don't mind what they've done with the place. Like the food truck setup they've got up and all of that, and they've got some good food trucks there, to be fair, as well. But you've got one stand. It's not in Oakland. The turf is bad, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but it's not great.
I
mean, again, every time you go to Oakland, you have to look up and check, where are they playing again this week? Because it seems like they change it every year by the looks. This is the first time I think they've had proper 2 seasons in the same place, isn't it?
What gets them this high on the list for you? Is it just kind of how mediocre and horrible the rest are?
I mean, yes. And it's passable, I think, is the thing. And also, I don't mind going to the Bay Area. Okay? I don't mind the Bay Area.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
All right, you're going to give me a prediction for 14.
I'm gonna go back to Sac.
We only got a few more of these until we go to a next ad break.
I'm gonna go to Sac.
You're going to go for Sac, but you're going to be wrong. 14 is going to be Southwest University
Oh,
Park.
I thought this was already named. Shoot.
No, we didn't get this one. El Paso, Texas. Not the worst. I mean, it's a baseball field again, which doesn't help, right? The baseball fields in general just don't. The sight lines in this one are quite bad as well if you're in the wrong spot. Like, if you're up in what's traditionally been the away end, you can't really see the one corner at all, which is not good.
Okay.
I mean, again, it's built for baseball. It's not built for football, right? I mean, it's fine. There's a couple of options around the stadium. I mean, hotels that often I'll stay in one of 2 that are right by there. I mean, there's a bar that we tend to go to after the game. But, like, there's not a lot of choice.
Okay.
I mean, it's El Paso. It's not great. It's fine.
It's not great.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not. And that's why it's middle of the road.
Sure. Okay. I have a... We're going on next one.
13.
Charleston?
What's he going to go with? Number 13 is going to be... Nope, Carroll Stadium.
Okay.
Again, it's just another one that's kind of fine. Like, I mean, this is the last one in the pack that I did. Indy 11, of course. This is the last one. We'll be taking our break now as well.
I control the
I
others.
know. Oh, Max, I'm just reminding you. But
I know.
I mean, again, right? It's a college stadium that doesn't have a whole lot of stuff necessarily going on. Devon, the bar doesn't let kids in. Yeah, Dev, mate. A lot of them don't. Welcome to America, mate. Like, I don't know what to say to you, especially at like 11 o'clock at night. But
We're any hour.
the thing about Carroll Stadium is that it's fine. I mean, the track doesn't help. The playing surface isn't the best artificial turf that you'll see. And the track doesn't help because it means you're all further from the playing surface. So like it pushes you out, which never helps a football pitch. It's fine. Again, we're in the like kind of meh category right now. And that rounds out the first 12.
But you know what?
stadiums we had, and we got the next 12 to come.
But you know what's not meh? It's our friends at Four Peaks. Friends at Four Peaks.
Max is buying beers for Vegas. Are you buying Bad Birdie for Vegas trip? Are you going to give me some Bad Birdie to take on the bus for the boys?
I'll give you some Bad Birdie money, sure.
He's going to give some Bad Birdie money. Did we hear that?
You won't.
Max, how long have I been working here now? How
Have
long
you
has
ever
it
got
been?
this man a Bad Birdie?
I've bought you a beer before.
You've never bought me a beer before.
What?
Tell me when you've bought me a beer. Look me in my eyes and tell me when you bought me a beer.
You got to buy this man a Bad Birdie. Get him one.
Yeah.
You know, I've lost
Yeah.
count because there's so many times.
So
Have
many
you had the
times,
Bad
yeah.
Birdie yet? Have you managed to have the Bad Birdie
See,
yet?
I've had one, but no
they're
thanks
good,
to
aren't
this
they?
man. I love
They're
them.
good, exactly.
You
And
know
that's
what I
why
would
you
love
need
right
them to
now?
buy you.
I would mess up a Bad Birdie right now, but nobody bought me one.
I mean, yeah.
Max. I like to empower people. You know, they say
Empower
they say,
me by giving it to
buy
me.
Man, buy a man a beer. They drink for a day. Have the man or person buy their own beer, and you know what? They'll drink for a week.
No,
maybe a
how about
month.
give the man $20 and he'll drink for longer? Like, come on, dude.
Give the man $20, he'll have a good night out. If
Oh,
he knows what he's doing.
Thank you, CWP. Max is buying Eric beers.
CWP.
Let's
Agreed.
freaking go.
Oh dear gosh. Well, whoever is buying those Four Peaks beers, those Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ales, grab one today. Nearest location at fourpeaks.com. You can find them at a local place of business near you. Check them out at their 8th Street Pub. Of course, follow them at Four Peaks Pub and at Four Peaks Brew to keep with the latest and greatest going on at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. Looking at you in the chat. Also, shout out to friends at Valley Taproom. Valley Taproom, they got Four Peaks beers. You can mosey on over to East Side. Check them out. 2 locations, Gilbert, Twin Creek. Great time to enjoy to enjoy a nice Four Peaks brew there, as well as wine slushies.
Max is getting some real like stick in the chat right here. Keep going. No, it's been a great time, Valley Taproom. We love Valley
It's
Taproom.
gonna be a great time. I can't teach Devin all to fish there, but I don't.
You ain't him, bud.
Well, it's okay. You can't fish for shit. But check them out at Valley Taproom. That's a good place to learn some other things like trivia and,
Max is
Get
buying
better-
beers at Valley Taproom.
get better at life. Check them out at Valley Taproom at valleytaproom.com and just follow them on social at Valley
All right.
Taproom.
All right, we're ready for number 12.
Let's
I see
do it.
Monterey next is what Michael says. What do you think comes
Oh,
in
it's
at
way
number 12?
too, Monterey way too low at number 12.
So we're actually taking
Yeah.
Charleston here, and I'll tell you
I was
why.
close. Shoot.
I mean, I thought I'd get the little pick there. Look, this one has a lot of sentimental value for obvious reasons. Rising won their first ever USL Championship playoff title
Bang.
in Charleston. Well, not Charleston, in Mount Pleasant, actually, because this ground isn't in Charleston. Look, the ground is fine. It's small. There's not a lot to it. I mean, the playing surface is all right.
It's an intimate venue.
It's all right. It's an intimate venue, but it's a bit too small, especially for a big event like a final. It feels a bit too small.
Is the city fairly named?
Mount Pleasant.
Would you say it's Mount Unpleasant? Or
You were there, Max. We stayed in Mount Pleasant.
I'm asking your
We
opinion.
stayed at an unnamed hotel in Mount Pleasant.
My
What
guy.
did you think?
I mean, the hotel. That was grim.
The hotel was a low.
No free odds or no free disparaging.
I remember hearing the don't bother with the breakfast.
I passed this through.
I'm just putting it that way.
Actually, hold on. This actually does have a special place in my heart. I mean, yeah, Rising won, but also we walked by Circle K It was right by the stadium on the way to the hotel. You remember that? My eyes lit up.
I mean,
That was a
yeah,
good
it was-
omen. That was good. That was a damn good omen.
There are a few Circle K's around this, to be fair, right? I mean, look, I enjoyed Charleston as a city, but again,
Oh, that was fun.
because it's Mount Pleasant and you're kind of a little bit out there. I mean, yeah. All right, number 11. Give me a guess, Max. Where we going with
I think I've
11?
been beating this drum. I'm gonna go sack. This is it. This is where we see it. Give me it.
You
Show
keep
me.
saying it,
Show
and
me.
eventually you'll
Show
be
me.
right.
Show me it.
You
Show
should
me it.
give me the sack.
Show.
Is that what you just
He
said?
just
you
said that,
give it
yeah.
to me, dude.
So happy that no one picked that up. I really hope the mic didn't pick it up. Let's
Number
go.
11 is Wakeman Park.
Wakeman Soccer Park, North Carolina FC. It was fine. I mean, again, a lot of these I feel like I'm just saying it's fine. This is actually a really nice playing surface. We've criticized a lot of playing surfaces. This one was really, really nice.
Okay.
I just feel as though overall, like, it's a little bit not quite in the middle of anywhere specifically.
Sure.
I mean, admittedly, the triangle's not very big, so it's
Sure.
fine, easy enough to get around. But it could have been better. It was meh, and it's why it can't really be
Okay.
higher than 11. Right, Max, who's coming in at 10?
Oh wow, we're getting into the top 10.
Max, what's the broken clock have to say on this one?
Ah man, I have.
Am
to
I
think-
giving you a clue, Max?
I have
as to
to.
what it might
I was
be?
good. I know it was around here. I told you it was in this range. I'm gonna go with Sacramento
You've been saying
Republic.
it since like 18. Hart
Ah,
Health
let's
Park.
go.
Here we go. Hart Health
That
Park in
is not true. I
Sacramento.
guessed Oakland Roots correctly.
So Hart Health Park in Sacramento, obviously, look, it's not the worst stadium. And as a city, we give it a lot of stick, but there are worse in this league.
I think it's not bad.
It's just that
It's not bad.
It's like, if you consider it against major cities, it's mediocre. But obviously, there's a lot of
It's not a-
non-major cities in this.
It's also not a major
in this
city,
league,
yeah.
so it's fine, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. The stadium's all right. If they pack it out, they can get an atmosphere going there. The fact that it's a bit temporary doesn't really help it. The fact that it's in the state fairgrounds, and so when the state fair is on, it kind of messes stuff up, doesn't help it. But like when they get going, that north end of it can be quite loud when they get going.
It is,
But they don't always get going as well.
The north end is the stands are very, very high, very, very tall. And do you recall?
Echoes a lot.
Do you recall the Western Conference Finals? The
I mean, the,
nice little
the furniture
pitch.
may leave a little bit to be desired as well.
we'll say
Especially
that.
after Carlos
Oy, oy.
Harvey may have
They've
gone
got some great
full
couches
WWE
in Sacramento. Yes, they got great couches in
The
Sacramento.
plastic on
Ask
the pitch
Carlos
as well, he's
Harvey.
right.
Yes.
Imagine when they had like a concert on the field in the week before this, and like obviously they'd had like plastic cups and just no one bothered to go pick all that stuff up. So they had to like, I noticed a few
what
rising
happens.
people
It's
went
professional
out,
sport.
found this stuff. One of them handed one of these like plastic shards, which is like broken up plastic drinks glasses to me, and was like, this is what they want us to play on. And then eventually, I think the referees told Sacramento to go clean it up. So they sent like a few people out with like a few like bin bags to go just
It was something.
chuck it in. It's fine. It's not great. What comes in at 9, Max? I'm gonna take. What do you think?
Concessions weren't bad at Sac, but no free ads.
Oh, they had one. No, actually, I'm not
Yeah,
even.
yep.
It's so bad.
I know.
And you know what I'm gonna do.
I know.
Exactly.
I was talking about more so what we ate, but yes, fair.
No.
What did you? Oh,
he knows. Now he knows. We're not going into that on this podcast.
Nope. Give me oh boy. This is tough because I think that this, like the stadium atmosphere probably isn't great, but I like Devon Shout. Give me Monterey because the experience is probably good, but the like fandom meh. So give me Monterey.
Nope.
Oh,
Rising Celtics in at 9.
Wow.
I wouldn't put Rising higher than this, and I don't think I can. And it's not because I don't think that Phoenix is a good place to come. It's not because I necessarily think the location is terrible, actually. The fact that it's got that transport link, there was good reason there was hype for this. It's quite central relative to the Valley at large. It's got the transport links there. But the stadium, I mean, I know... look, there are people who work hard in this team to get it as good as they can do. But we also have to be real about this. The place doesn't do anything to dispel what people coming in would think if they were to start going off about the minor league stuff. It's clearly temporary stuff. Max, you need to go use the toilet. What are you doing? You're doing it in the dark in a portable convenience there, are you not?
yeah.
Nothing says fun like going to go number 2 at like 9:30 at night in a dark, portable little toilet.
The nice ones that they have are nice. There's just not that many of them.
There's not many, right? The $3 hot dogs. I mean, there we go again, right? The concessions, right? The concessions gave our intern food poisoning, okay? Right? We need to be real about this. The pitch is great, but the stadium experience at large isn't. And I know there are limitations on what they can do, and I know all of that. But the problem is that, unfortunately, it gives you the exact kind of minor league, quote unquote, experience that people expect out of this team locally. And you do nothing to beat that stigma. There are some stadiums in this league that are nice. Rising's pitch is nice. And again, the Bandidos obviously do their thing week in, week out. Okay, every game they're out there. And yeah, right, they put together a decent atmosphere. And look, if you're going out and having a fun time with them and you're going for a few drinks in the parking lot before, and then you're spending time with them and popping smoke and doing all that fun stuff, then obviously you're going to have a great time there. But you got the hype squad too, Devon points out. But all the positives I'm listing in that little thing, isn't that just football as a social experience, which would happen at any of these stadiums if you knew enough people there? You'd have fun. Yeah. But the stadium experience itself isn't necessarily fun. I mean, come on. You got the hype squad, right? I mean, what are we going to do if we don't have our boy Dizzy from Just Energy Entertainment comes out?
No free ads.
Yeah, well,
I know.
It's not a positive ad, is it, Max?
There goes that partnership.
We've spoken about this.
There goes that partnership. No, I think it's one of those things, right? I mean, the one thing that you can't really weigh, I guess you can, is weighing what is like the surrounding stadium experience. And like, yes, you have the light rails. Yes, there's all, different ways to get around with rideshare programs. I think like if you're doing an away trip as a visiting fan, you're putting Phoenix on there because you want to be able to enjoy, yes, the stadium, yes, going to face this club, but also everything surrounding it. As the actual stadium experience itself, yeah, pretty much everything you said is spot on.
Yeah, it's low down the list in terms of stadium quality necessarily.
Yes, and
pitch is good, but the stadium itself not
correct.
So much.
City itself, honestly, probably one of the more top ones.
Reese, I missed the weekly fire we used to have within 5 miles of the stadium. That's true. We're not smoke watching anymore. It's disappointing.
Dear gosh,
disappointing. Right, number 8. What do you think, Max?
Come back to me on the next one.
No, okay. He
Pass.
just wants to reveal.
Pass.
We're going with Toyota Field.
Okay.
So we're going San Antonio on this one. Okay. Now, this one has to be low down. I like San Antonio as a place. I enjoy going to San Antonio as a trip. I think that the biggest problem with this, and the stadium's all right as well, right? Permanent stadium, nice kind of size, feels decent. I'll add that it's just so far out of San Antonio that it's a bit annoying. When you're getting like a 20-minute ride over to the stadium from the Riverwalk, that's a bit disappointing. You'd ideally like to be closer. So it kind of limits it, right? Yeah. So they're good. It's an all right stadium. Actually, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to. I'll say they used to do this, right? They used to do for their season ticket holders, they give them a cup before the start of the season that they could then use at the soda machines for free for the rest of the season. That's a good season ticket holder perk. That's a decent season ticket holder perk.
It's pretty solid. I mean, I guess you have to lug around the cup or whatever.
Well, yeah, but it's like an empty cup if you're not drinking anything.
I know.
It's like a plastic cup. I mean,
I know.
If you're doing that and saving however much these people normally charge on sodas at sporting events, Max.
Right, but I guess...
You think about the saving there, especially if like you're a family, right, and you've got kids who, you might want to have a beer or two, but the kids are going to want something else.
I'm not discounting that. What I'm more so saying is I'm more talking about the cup itself of having to physically carry it around. You have like a card and that gets you discounts to everything. But I digress. Yes, I do like that they have something.
Well, they go serve themselves. They don't even, they literally just had soda machines there. That they were going up and doing it themselves.
Okay. I'm not a supply chain guy. That's okay.
All right. Number 7, what do you think, Max?
You remarked very highly about this stadium's experience, but I also think there are other things that you've mentioned might bring them down. Give me Detroit.
7 is Championship Soccer Stadium in Irvine.
Okay.
I'll say this, right? Irvine, no one likes Irvine. Irvine is mediocre, but it's close to a lot of nice things.
I would say, dare I say soulless.
It's close to the beach.
There's not much personality.
It's close to the beach.
Panache.
No, Irvine is like, there's the airport there, and that's great. Okay? That does me good work, right? I can fly straight into Irvine. Nice and close. Great. Lots of cheap hotels by the airport. Great. Close to the beach. I'll take that. The stadium's fine. Like, it's a grass field. It's permanent, right? It's still got that new kind of shine to it. Is it on the small side? Yes, but it's Orange County. Like, at the end of the day, they're not a huge club. They don't need a huge stadium. And Casino Arizona Field West, as they used to call it back in the day, when Rising were, obviously playing in Scottsdale where they were previously, and they used to travel out to Orange County, and they drew a lot of numbers there, didn't they? You remember that one, Reese? Oh yeah, the away day in the Western Conference Final. But it's an all right stadium. It's fine. You're close to the beach, which is fun, and yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, again, if you talk about it, D Gully, I think he's right there. The stadium in OC is great if you compare it to what Rising have. If you could just make it that little bit bigger, make it that bit bigger. Add the extra stand behind the one goal and move the stands on the length of the pitch back a bit so that you could get a couple more thousand in there, which you could. Yeah. You could. That's the kind of stadium you'd probably want Rising to have at this stage.
That's a really good way to put it. Like the OC supporters and how that stand was structured. You kind of mirror that same thing on the south end. Yeah, South End. It was pretty good.
It is the south of the stadium,
yes.
You've been there. You've been to that one, Max.
I did.
Reese has been to that one. Lucky.
He was. Lucky.
He had a great time. Emmy Quayshow final late winner there. Number 6, Max. What are we taking at 6?
Oh, that wasn't 6?
No, that was 7.
Oh.
What are we taking at 6? Because 6 is one that's quite highly regarded by a lot of people, but I put it at 6.
Tampa Bay.
No, it's Lynn Family Stadium.
Oh. Wow.
Here's what I'll say. The stadium,
not even the top 5.
The stadium is beautiful, but it's also in Louisville. Okay? I'm just putting the context on this one, right? Okay? It is a beautiful stadium. But if you had to ask me, and at this point, though, most of these are nice stadiums. Most of them. Not quite all, but most of them. Or they have something to them.
Okay, there it is.
That makes me like them. It is. Something to them that makes me like them.
Okay.
Lynn Family Stadium is in Louisville, and that's the problem. It's all right as a place. But admittedly, maybe it's because I spent so much time there last time because it was the mid-year meetings. And so it was a lengthy one with all the people from the league were in town, and it was busy and... But yeah, and I mean, the other thing is the stadium's too big for them. I'm just going to say it. Like, most games, it's too big for them. Okay? Simple as. Now, again, that's not necessarily a problem because it's not like cavernous, like Protective Stadium or Ricardo Silva Stadium. Like, I mean, the Ricardo Silva one as well. We didn't even mention the fact that it's named for Miami FC's owner, did we?
Nope.
No, we should have, but it's fine. We'll move on.
Dear gosh.
Right, number 5, what do you think, Max?
I'll go Detroit here.
I'm taking Cardinale.
Whoa. Okay.
Now, this is probably the last of the stadiums that I don't really rate the stadium too much. It's fine. I mean, the turf surface is what it is. The stadium's fine. It's kind of like the Rhode Island one stadium-wise, right? It's a little bit closer maybe to civilization than Rhode Island's is, but it's still a little bit outside of maybe the main drag you'd want to be in. The thing about it, though, is that Monterey is arguably the most beautiful stretch of coastline in this entire league. And there is nothing I genuinely enjoy more in a season. Like, there are a few away days that you always circle. This, for me, is one of them because it is just really nice to get out there by the coast. You take a good bit off the temperature because it's boiling here and it'll be like a nice weather there. Like, you're right by the coast. You got those seals, like, barking, okay? And there's loads of seals in there. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. But, like, it's fun. It's different.
Yeah, I got you.
And...
kind of annoying.
And you're not, but at least they're not that loud when you're not right by them. It doesn't carry. The sound doesn't really carry.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. And then obviously you have a few drinks, and it's just a really, really beautiful place. Like, seriously, it's not the easiest to get to, right? But there are direct flights from Phoenix. Not naming any airlines, but you can do it from Phoenix.
Yes.
You can do it from Phoenix, which is one of the few airports you can actually fly into there for. which is always makes it a bit easier. And if you don't like it, you can always go a little bit further up the coast to like San Jose.
I remember when you joined when we were playing. They were
San Diego and Sacramento. Yes, I've done them as double headers, whereby they played in one in like midweek or on the weekend, and then the other one.
I think San Diego was the midweek, and then you're going up to
San Diego was on a weekend that I then went up on the train.
That's right.
To
I remember when we
and then the following. So that was 22.
Yes.
23. It was Sacramento, then Monterey. So I did it both years.
Okay, yes, because I remember on that pod we were glowing.
Ooh, I'd rather be next to Seals than Max, says Michael. Oof, you're taking some stick, my friend. Right, we need to get through these now because we are moving on. We're moving on to number 4 now, right? I think. Going with this one, Colorado Springs. Yeah, what do we think?
Okay,
I like the stadium. Nice. Anyone who remembers the old Widener Field will remember that it was shocking. Well, it wasn't really. It was all right, but it was just out in the sticks and didn't have a great deal in terms of facilities But the new one's quite nice. It's got a good modern feel to it.
It's kind of a cool backdrop.
They get a good crowd in there.
Good backdrop.
They can get it. Actually, to be fair, it gets a little bit loud in there. To be fair, it's not the worst in terms of there are some quiet stadiums in this league. I don't think they are. And it's also right in downtown Colorado Springs as well, which means that you are able to get around easily. You're able to go down to bars and restaurants, have a good time. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff there. And of course, the most important part is that we will be there if you choose to go this season. Both of us are making the trip up to Colorado Springs. So is the Stat Lackey. This is a full-on outing this August, and it will be on national TV. This is on network TV. They are on CBS, aren't they?
Big.
No,
for
nationally.
Massive.
Yeah. Well, we can advertise the team's broadcast. That's fine. It's programming.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be massive.
That's gonna be huge.
Very exciting.
Get yourself up there.
We're gonna have Emma Clark drive us.
Yeah, we're gonna drag Emma. We're gonna drag Emma to that game. Emma, if you're still watching, we are dragging you to that game.
Okay, let's see. We're going.
But I like it as a stadium. I think it's all right.
I respect
Again, I mean, the surface is what it is. There's a lot of teams in this league that are like that. Number 3, what do you think, Max? Not the A. He's already broken it.
I think it's Detroit.
It's Detroit. Wow, Max.
I can't tell when you're throwing it to him or you're not, and I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's fine. Keyworth, I'm going with.
Way to go, Eric.
I genuinely think this is the most unique stadium in the entire league, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Now, the pitch is awful, but that's fine. I mean, it's a dump, but it's great. It's so weird and different and just not like all the rest of these stadiums, which is either relatively generic or awful for the sport.
Yep.
Like, no, but you know what I mean? Like, most stadiums in this league go into 3 categories: pop-up, generic, or baseball. Keyworth doesn't. Keyworth has history. Place is old. Wasn't it a Great Depression era project? It's old. Yeah, their fans are a bit weird, but that's a separate thing. To be fair, they made a decent noise.
Mikey, you're a goober.
Oh, it's getting personal with the chat. They made a decent noise. And I think, look, it's just a unique experience. And for all the comments that a lot of people make about Detroit, like I heard all these things, Detroit, terrible place, all of this. It's not that bad. Like, it's fine. It's a big city. I mean, it's fine. I mean, the worst part was trying to get from the airport into the center because the airport's so far out and the prices of the ride shares unnamed were quite high, and that was all of them at that time.
How was it?
Fine.
Little bars around it. Nice little ambiance. Okay. No, I'm asking.
The stadium, I didn't really do a lot around the stadium.
Okay.
Kind of just went to the ground. I mean, you know what it's like. I'm lugging equipment and stuff, so it's not great. Right. So don't toss them up quite yet. You know what? Actually, on this one, we'll move in, and we're going to move in quite quickly between 2 and 1 in this one, because obviously when we reveal 2, it'll reveal 1. But Max, there are 2 stadiums remaining. Which order do you think I'm putting them in?
He's going to name one that you had in the 20s.
To begin with. Do you know what the 2 stadiums I haven't named yet are?
Well, Tampa Bay is one of them.
That's one of them, yeah.
It's probably an obvious one. I'm trying to keep track of all this in my head.
You can't remember.
Damn, why are we shaming me on here? That's not nice. Hey,
Oh, it's past Max's bedtime.
Hey,
You
now.
can't.
Hey, now. I got a small goal soccer game to prepare for.
Well, what's the other stadium, Max? Do you need me to tell you?
Lifeline.
What?
We went through a lot of them. I'm trying to remember, man. Come on. I don't have them all in front of me. I'm not looking at anything.
He's probably like Sacramento. It's Sacramento for sure. Sacramento.
Stop
This
it.
man is like a one track like record there.
Damn,
It's just
that's
the same
tough.
thing over and over again.
That's tough.
It's Pittsburgh is the other stadium in there.
Thank
So
you.
Max, which one do you think I take as number one?
Oh, you're definitely going Pittsburgh number 1.
Let's have a look at number 2.
100%.
Number 2 is Pittsburgh.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Highmark Stadium. It's a beautiful stadium.
Shit.
And like I enjoyed Pittsburgh a lot, to be fair, right? It felt like it was also one of the cheapest cities for drinking. I'm not gonna lie, I found some good cheap drink, which is always a key part of any good away day. I liked it as a city, but I'm gonna have to go with the number 1 at ALLCITY Stadium. Now, we give a lot of stick to baseball stadiums. They did this one right, okay? They did this one right. It's fully converted now.
Clip that
No,
part.
they did. And everyone talks about how beautiful the Pittsburgh Stadium is, but that's because they see on the broadcast that side of the field, right? They see it looking out at the river. ALLCITY, the camera's not pointed at the thing that's really beautiful, which is actually, it looks straight out on a marina into the bay. It's a really beautiful setting. It's right in downtown St. Pete. You've got everything you could possibly want there is walkable. Whenever I go there, I get the car from Tampa Airport to downtown St. Pete to my hotel. And then I never bother about it ever again until I'm ready to go back to the airport. It's a lovely trip. Now, the only thing that's a bit worrying there is it's a bit of a nightmare memory, of course, from 2020. But it's still, and Michael, yeah, I've been to ALLCITY, but I still wouldn't know. I know, Michael, that was fun. Well, not a fun trip. I had him next to me for a lot of that trip. What a fun experience that one was. But I don't know. I mean, hey, got through it in the end. Got to go there eventually. Rising didn't win when I got back there to see Rising play there, but hey, it was a nice stadium. It's in a good spot. You'll have fun. It's just fun. I like it. What do we think then, Max? Final thoughts on the rankings?
Sounds pretty good. We'll do a nice little tour of them.
Owen put so much time and work and effort and everything, and Max is like,
It's kind of cool.
okay,
Isn't it?
okay,
Oh no,
yeah.
I didn't mean that disrespectfully. No,
I'm just gonna pick his phone up and throw it at him right now. You know, like no, I wouldn't do that
Max
to you,
checked
Max.
out 10 minutes ago.
I'd never do that.
No,
to you, Max.
it's not to know it. That was not meant to be a slight. No, it makes a lot of sense. It's like I haven't been to a lot of these, so it's
No,
it's
it's
a
fair.
pretty good ranking. It sounds
Aw.
like do not.
No.
That's so he's saying no, but he's not leaning away. He's embracing it.
I do like a hair tussle. I'm not
Where
gonna
do
lie.
you want to go though? Seriously, out of the ones you haven't been to, if you could pick anyone right now to go to next, which
Only
would it be?
because I will caveat when it's good weather. I've been wanting to go to Pittsburgh for a while, so I'm actually very intrigued by that one. And like I haven't explored the Northeast much.
Going up, I enjoyed just going for a walk, taking the little
Yeah.
I forget what they call them, the inclines there, I think. And it's just like this little thing that goes up the side of the hill right by the stadium.
Yeah.
And so you get a really nice little view out there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Rapid fire, because I think a couple people in the chat have been
let's
asking
go.
for stadiums in a box, or at least clubs in a box, and where they rank. We're gonna go San Diego.
I've got a full list here of ones that I've
Okay,
done.
go for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
American Legion Memorial Stadium, Charlotte Independence, mediocre, but that's because there was nobody there. What else have we got here that's kind of dead? Cheney Stadium, it was dead. No one went. It was a baseball stadium and no one went. It was Tacoma Defiance. But it was all right as an experience, but it was just dead there the whole time, so not great. Dignity Health Sports Park, we'll go with the track and field, not the main stadium. Yeah, track and field stadium, like the lighting. If I've got holding a camera and thinking the lighting is bad, and then the head coach at the time walks up to me and goes, the lighting in here is horrible. It's like, yeah, how do you think I feel holding a camera in this? Like, yeah, no. And I mean, at the end when they weren't even letting anyone in. Greater Nevada Field, I hear they had some real weird guys in the front office there. I mean, I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know about that Reno 1868
Wait, what are you
FC.
talking
I mean,
about?
they're questionable, you know. I mean, HEB Park, bottom of the pile. Thank God it's gone. Who builds a stadium when you can't see the touch lines? from anywhere in the stands. They did. It's also in Edinburgh, which no one wants to go to. Where else is gone? Laney, when Oakland played there. Not the worst. Meh. I mean, the field was obviously terrible. Las Positas. Oh, boy, that was an experience also with Oakland. That was in the middle of nowhere and also had, like, stands that held about 100 people. So that was great. Lynn Stadium at the University of Louisville, where the 2018 final was played. They made a decent stab at that, to be fair. I think the stadium setup was all right. I didn't mind it. What's that one? I did MSU Soccer Park with New York Red Bulls too. Managed to get the train there, which again is a very refreshing very refreshing experience. But again, nobody went there because it was reserves. What else? Peoria Sports Complex from the old Arizona United days.
Devin is asking what about the other two Rising stadiums?
Well, you're also missing the other two from before that as well. Because there's Peoria and Scottsdale Sports Complex as well. Scottsdale Stadium and Peoria Sports Complex.
Although I guess those are not Rising
neither of them were great. No, same
yeah.
club, different name.
I know. I'm trying. Why am I trying to help? Why am I trying to help the guy?
Was the best. They've never been able to replicate that hype again. They never have, and I don't think they will. Casino Arizona Field was this team at its peak.
That was pretty awesome.
There were a lot of factors in that. Okay, it's not all down to the stadium, but the stadium setup was decent. It was new in terms of them playing in a proper football stadium. It was a great experience, and I don't think they'll easily replicate that. Providence Park, no one used to go to those games. It was also the only one I've gotten food poisoning with. That's right, Lackey. They gave me food poisoning on a media hot dog. I know. Impressive, isn't it? Wild Toss Pass was mediocre for Rising. I felt.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all right. It was all right when they had the rawhide stuff going on. That was okay. You know, when they do the tailgate thing over there?
Yeah.
And they, like, bust them across. That was great. That was great. I just went to Starfire, which isn't really a USL stadium, but it's like the only non-USL stadium on the list of USL and Open Cup games I've been to. So I kind of included it just for cheap. That was all right experience. I mean, there was a load of random free stuff. I'm reading his chat right now. It's confusing me. There's a load of random these things falling off of trees, and Jake spent the entire game going, "What on earth are these things?" And we didn't really know, but hey, I mean, they were there. What else? Torero Stadium, I think, would have made a top 10 case. I think Torero Stadium, as much stick as we give it, as much stick as we gave San Diego Loyal, it was a fun... I'm just getting a shake of the head from Reese. It was a fun away day. You compare it to some of these. Some of these are awful. Do you understand how bad some of these stadiums are? The Torero was okay. It was a football ground, by and large. The pitch was at times atrocious. And San Diego was a more fun trip than some of these other utter holes, mate. I'm sorry, they're awful. UNM Soccer Complex, that was an experience. We don't remember that game. We don't talk about that game. And then the old Widener Field. Not great. All right, that's it. That's the list, I think. I think I've done them all. All right.
Cool. Okay. How do you feel? How many, if you had the little list there, how many total stadiums have you been to?
How many total stadiums? I think it's 44, but I'm not 100%. I mean,
good gravy.
44, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
44 stadiums. And that doesn't count like friendlies and stuff, of which then you could add 4 more, I think.
Okay.
Just off the top of my head. I mean, I can name 4 right now. It would be Tucson, obviously Coachella setup, and then 2 down in Mexico City. GCU as well. That comes in as 5.
Good shout.
Yeah, good shout. Thank you, Lackey. So I'd be up to 49 now if we counted the friendlies.
Okay. Wow. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Does it make you reminisce a bit on everything going down? In a good way?
Let's wrap the show right now.
Whoa! That's a fair question.
Yeah.
How does it feel to go through all the different stadiums that you've built? Or not built, gone through.
I like how people are now ranking PHNX hosts, and it gets Owain, Ramon, Deadwin, Max.
Damn.
Michael.
Damn, that's tough.
Wow.
I appreciate it, Lackey. Thanks for the support, man. What a guy.
Oh, Reese put Max at the top, but that's just because Reese wants to then be the one who says, well, I beat the guy on the top on FIFA.
Okay, that's actually a fair shout.
Which he also did to me, but yeah, I mean.
Hey, man, I'll take top 5.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Top 5, baby.
Top 5.
Let's go.
Top 5 out of what, Max?
I think 4. Just a placeholder in there just in case.
All right. All right.
Oh, boy.
I think we've gone long enough now, Max. We can call it.
I think so.
We go
too.
for an hour and 9. Let's call it.
Yeah, well, you already fit 13 minutes late. Appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX Rising podcast. Of course, you can follow us at PHNX__Rising because double the underscore. Anyone. Literally
double the
anyone.
amount of stadiums Owen's gone to over Max.
Oh, it's
like quadruple.
I think it's more than double, to be fair.
What is the word for 7-upple? Centuple. At least centuple. I think I've been to. I'll do my rankings one day. Boom. It'll be a long, exhaustive podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow Ciders Reset on Twitter at Reese11_. You can follow Eric Ruby with K on Twitter at Eric Ruby, ERIKRUBY. You can follow Jacob Franklin somewhere.
Why do you can follow, keep promoting Jacob's
You can
Twitter
follow
account?
Jacob Franklin to a stadium near you. But
At
not
Jacob
Max,
_
not
Franklin.
in
Can't be able to stalk
Not
him.
in person.
Why
Not
are you
stalking.
encouraging stalking?
No, going up
You
and
said follow him to a stadium. That's
following him when he's
Max.
at a stadium. There's a difference.
That sounds like stalking to me. Doesn't it sound like stalking to you, Eric?
I got
It's
it.
borderline.
Listen, I got a small little soccer game
He's
to
just
play.
like smiling away and
Yeah,
doesn't want to
yeah,
intervene.
no
here.
comment. It's
Don't follow Jacob. if you see him
Don't.
in public.
No. Leave him be. He's a nice enough guy. Nice enough.
nice enough. Yeah, he's all right. All right. Well, it's a beautiful game, but it's way more beautiful when you guys plan your next away day.
We all silly like the mayor.